One begins eating a rock. In his mind, this is greatness.
He's just like me for real.
That's you, a Tyranid Hormigaunt. You do not wake up. Waking implies you had the luxury of sleep, of dreams, of a self. You don't have that. You are designed. A violent spark of bioelectrical instinct surges through wet meat and chitin, and that's your first moment. No mother, no father.
Damn. Wait, I thought Tyranids have babies. Wait a second.
Only the Norn Queen, a colossal brood organism pulsing in the dark, birthing you with all the tenderness of a factory venting smoke.
Oh, okay. I guess that makes sense. They are like a collective after all. At least I have tons of siblings, yay!
Then, before your eyes even form, something way up in the hierarchy presses down on your mind. The hive mind. It doesn't speak. It imposes. It commands. Hunger floods your nerves. Not yours, never yours, but you feel it all the same. Without delay, the Norn Queen's tendrils release you into the greater body of the hive ship, where the walls pulse like the inside of a colossal throat. You're floating. Not in water, not in air, in a warm, viscous, nutrient pool pulsing inside the bowels of a living ship. Bones line the walls like cathedral supports made of corpses. Veins thicker than starship hulls pump biomass around you. You don't question it. You're a Tyranid. Questioning is a defect, and defects are recycled. Think of this as orientation, but instead of handbook, you get existential dread and mandatory clause. A spike
Don't most of us have that?
of command hits your nervous system like a spear to the brain. No voice, no words, just directive. Form. You thrash and push through the fluid, your claws scraping against hardened flesh. Teeth erupt from your skull before your mind fully understands chewing. Limbs stretch, crack, fuse, strengthen. You feel your exoskeleton harden like cooling iron. Your body isn't something you own. It's something you were issued. Above you, the hive mind pulses. You can't see it, but you feel it, like a constant pressure pushing your thoughts down a funnel until all that remains is consume, kill, adapt, repeat, for the hive.
I mean, seems to be working well for the hive. So Tyranids don't have any thoughts at all. I guess that makes sense.
If you had free will, this would be horrifying. Luckily, you don't. You drag
True.
yourself from the birthing pool. Other creatures like you are emerging too, slick and snarling, their minds just as empty and obedient. Some are gaunts, small and fast with scything talons. Some are rippers, nothing but worms with jaws born to crawl and devour whatever the gaunts leave behind. You don't look at them as siblings. There's no family here. Only biomass inventory. This is team building, Tyranid style. No trust falls, just actual falls into the digestive pools. You feel something towering approach. Your gaze is forced upward by instinct. A Tyranid warrior.
Wow.
Taller than a space marine, its head crowned with armored ridges, synaptic nodes glowing faintly under its flesh.
That could have been me, and I turned into a normal one? Lame.
It doesn't speak. Instead, its presence forces your thoughts into alignment, like iron fillings snapping toward a magnet. That's when you understand hierarchy. Those closer to the hive mind control those further from it. You are very down. Think middle management, except middle management can telepathically make you walk into a machine gun nest, and you'll thank them for the opportunity. You suddenly receive a pulse of information. It's an injection of purpose directly into your neurons. The hive fleet is approaching a world. Biomass levels are high, the prey species are armed. Everyone on the hive ship is preparing, and you find out it's to invade Ultramar. It's Macragge, the first Tyrannic War and Hive Fleet Behemoth's debut stage. You're deployed to overwhelm and digest whatever the hive wills. Planets aren't locations for Tyranids, they're meals with weather. You march through organic tunnels, the walls throbbing with life. Capillary towers pump fluids, while digestive pools bubble with dissolved remains of previous conquests. A monstrous silhouette looms in the distance. A Carnifex, a living battering ram of muscle and spines, snorts clouds of acidic vapor as feeder tendrils writhe around its jaws. It pushes past you, its massive bulk shaking the fleshy ground. It doesn't acknowledge you. It doesn't need to. If you get in its way, you'll be crushed underfoot, and your biomass will be put to better use in something less pathetic. Near the exit of the launch chamber lies a synapse creature, brain tendrils pulsing like exposed nerves. That's a zoanthrope. Its head swollen with psychic might drifts like a jellyfish. The air around it crackles. Even the warrior bows its head slightly as it passes. The zoanthrope doesn't simply receive commands from the hive mind. It is the command. Upper management has literally evolved beyond needing a body, and Tyranids must obey them because not obeying is not an option. Rebellion would require individuality. Individuality is a mutation. Mutations are fed to the digestion pools. The employee handbook is 1 page long. Don't resist. You eventually reach the drop spine. It opens like a gaping wound in the ship's exterior wall.
Ew.
They call it a mycetic spore drop, a polite term coined by terrified humans trying to classify horror. In truth, it's an infection. Living meteors of flesh and chitin tear through the sky, each one a hollow growth pod packed with organisms like you. They're hurled at a planet the same way a disease is hurled at a body. Think of it as business travel, except the flight is a screaming meat pod and your destination is someone else's apocalypse. Impact. The pod slams into the planet's surface with bone-cracking force. The walls split apart, flesh tearing open like a wound that wants to bleed enemies. You surge forward, your senses explode, air, dry and alien, smell filled with prey pheromones, sound, gunfire and screaming.
Biomass must devour. I don't know, man. So far, it seems a lot better than the Space Marine life. Because here, you don't really think. You just kind of do, and all you do is eat. Like, that's better than suffering.
Your mind doesn't label these. It categorizes them simply as biomass and resistance. A line of Imperial Guardsmen is firing at you. Laser bolts streak through the air, carving holes in your swarm mates. You watch one Gaun's head explode. The hive mind notes its death, recalculates biomass ratios, and moves on. Efficiency. You sprint. Your muscles were grown for this moment. You're a perfect tool, not in beauty or grace, but in function. Your claws find flesh. The guardsman screams as you tear through armor and bone. Around you, the swarm advances like an ocean of blades. Behind you, rippers flood from ruptured hives like a carpet of gnashing mouths, consuming every chunk left behind. A man crawls away, missing both legs, begging the Emperor for mercy. The rippers reach him. The begging stops. The cleanup crew is efficient. You'd be proud if pride were in your emotional toolbox. But it's not. The hive mind takes note of resistance levels. You feel its attention as a result. Some of you will evolve, some of you won't survive long enough to be considered worthy for evolution. You see it
Evolution? Could I become one of the big boys?
Victor drops from above, its camouflage skin shimmering as it impales an officer through the spine. The hive mind acknowledges its performance. Adaptation. Efficient. What about you? You are not special.
I'm working on it. Give me a chance, hive mind. Damn.
As a Gaunt, you're an expendable bullet made in service of the hive. Around you, more pods crash into the ground, vomiting forth new organisms. A biovore, bloated and pulsating, lumbers forward and launches living spores from its back. Each spore is a screaming sack of acid and instinct, arcing through the sky before bursting into the ranks of fleeing guardsmen. Limbs and armor fly as a result. The hive mind doesn't celebrate. Celebration is a waste of neural function.
Hi guys. If you're enjoying this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you.
Above, the sky tears open with a psychic scream. A shadow in the warp descends, smothering all other psychic signals like a wet blanket over a dying fire. Human psychers clutch their heads, blood running from their eyes, their connection to the warp frays like snapped wire. They can no longer send distress calls, channel psychic powers, or even warn their commanders. All that remains in the psychic channels is terror.
I mean, good. Since we're currently on the side of the Tyranids, good strategy.
Some try to scream warnings, but only manage wet gurgles before their brains cook inside their skulls. To you, it feels like static. The zoanthropes amplify the shadow, and the hive mind's thoughts become even more absolute. You push forward through trenches, ripping through sandbags and flesh alike. An ultramarine trooper empties his bolt gun into a Tyranid ptarmigan's chest. Bolts of red, hot light carve through its rib plating. It collapses, ichor pouring from the wound. The sergeant breathes out in relief, as if he accomplished something meaningful. Then you leap at lightning speed. The human stares in horror as you descend. He drops his gun and runs. He shouldn't have done that. Running implies escape. There is no escape. You tear him apart. Your claws keep moving long after his body stops reacting, reducing him to indistinguishable chunks so the rippers don't have to sort through organs.
Yummy meal. I like it.
Efficiency. The hive mind appreciates efficiency. Far across the field, a towering form descends with a thunderous crack. A hive tyrant. If the zoanthrope is a brain node, the hive tyrant is a general carved from nightmares.
Sick.
Wings spread, dripping with alien fluid, its bone swords hum with psychic energy. Soldiers fire everything they have at it. He keeps walking, they break formation. The Hive Tyrant doesn't pursue them. Instead, it stops, looks at the battlefield, issues a command that hits your brain like a hammer. Advance, no retreat, no survivors. Your limbs move before you process the thought. You don't have morale, you have momentum. All of a sudden, the Hive Tyrant takes a las cannon to the skull. For 3 seconds, the synaptic link flickers. Your thoughts scatter like dropped silverware. Gaunts around you stop mid-charge, twitching, confused. Some sprint forward and attack nothing. Some flee in random directions. A few just start digging straight down like the planet insulted them. One begins eating a rock. In his mind, this is greatness.
He's just like me for real. Welp, I guess there's a reason they're all in the collective. Look what they are without it. Embarrassment.
Then a warrior reestablishes the link, and you snap back into formation. Crisis averted. Barely. Without warning, the planet started shaking. In the distance, a Titan-class bioform awakens beneath the ground. A hyrogel. All claws and living artillery erupts from the soil like a demon crawling from hell. Imperial tanks swivel to face it. The hyrogel roars. A sound like a starship engine being tortured and charges. Gunfire bounces off its armor as it plows through tanks like children's toys. You're a grain of sand in the storm. But even grains of sand can drown a world if there are enough of them. The hive mind attention sharpens. New data. Heavy mass signatures, high-density ceramide, gland-enhanced biomass. Threat recalibration? Severe. Synaptic pulses ripple through the swarm. Priority targets identified. Then you see them. Ahead, armored giants enter the field. Space Marines. Angels of death. Demigods of war. The hive mind classifies them instantly. Premium biomass, extreme resistance, acceptable loss ratio.
Premium biomass. Yum, 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 yum.
20-1. Translation, 20 of you to kill one of them. The math is acceptable. You are included in the 20. A Marine in blue armor raises a chainsword, roaring a battle cry. For the Emperor! He cuts down 2 gaunts in a single swing, blasts another apart with his bolter. You leap, so do others. A tide of claws overwhelms him. He swings, roars, and fights like a hero in a legend. He dies like all biomass. Luckily, you barely escape death. A Tervigon lumbers forward behind you, a swollen monstrosity birthing fresh Termagons from the sacs in its abdomen. Each new creature hits the ground running, screeching with newborn hunger.
Bruh, Tyranids are so fucked up. I love it.
Artillery shells from space blast the ground. Imperial Valkyrie gunships scream across the sky, ferrying guardsmen to a war they have already lost. Orbital defense lasers from the Imperial fleet also sear the landscape, carving trenches of molten dirt in blind desperation. The ground beneath your claws is already changing. Capillary towers erupt from the soil, sucking moisture and minerals into the sky. Spore chimneys belch toxic atmosphere. The planet's being rewritten at the molecular level. Less invasion, more hostile takeover with extreme renovations. The Tyranids don't scatter, they don't flee. Those who die add to the biological tally. Those who live push forward. Either outcome is acceptable. Out of nowhere, a guardsman detonates a plasma grenade near your feet. The explosion tears your legs off. You fall. For a moment, your vision flickers. The hive mind brushes against your fading neurons like a passing current. It doesn't soothe you, doesn't reassure you. It simply weighs your utility. Decision reclaimed. Rippers pour over your broken form like piranhas made of fangs and hatred. They dig into your flesh. You don't scream. Screaming is a waste of biomass. You feel your own body being eaten piece by piece. It's all for the hive, nothing personal. You look up at the sky. The hive ship looms above, vast and grotesque, sucking atmosphere and life into its capillary towers. Your heart stops. Darkness doesn't follow. There's no darkness. There's only processing.
Damn.
Your biomass travels through the digestion pulse, and is broken down into raw genetic slurry. Screaming faces dissolve in acid, armor melts, bones crack. Everything becomes one single ocean of genetic potential. You're no longer you. You're useful material.
I mean, technically, I was never me to begin with as a Tyranid, so it doesn't really matter.
Deep inside the hive ship, new forms begin to grow. Your essence flows into the birthing pools. A new creature begins to take shape. Maybe another gaunt, something with more claws, or something with a gun that has teeth.
Ooh.
If your genetic pattern impresses the hive mind, it may reuse your traits. If not, you'll be fuel for something better. It's like performance-based reincarnation, except there's no karma but digestive enzymes. In the nutrient baths, a shape stirs. You do not wake up, you ignite again. And the cycle continues. Forever. Because the Hive Fleet doesn't stop, it doesn't negotiate, it doesn't rest, it just consumes. World after world, system after system. You'll be born 1,000 times, die 1,000 times. Each time, you'll think it's the first.
Oh, dang. Well, again, a good video. I liked it. I gotta say, yes, does that life sound miserable? Totally. However, at least I'm not, like, aware. I don't have a brain. I'm not allowed to be someone. So, would it be a miserable existence? Sure. But having no ability to actually process what the fuck is happening with you and not having any feelings and stuff about it, to me that feels not as bad as the life of the Space Marine, I'm gonna be honest, that we watched last time. Do you guys have any other suggestions for Warhammer videos? Please let me know in the comments. I'll see you for the next one. Bye!